hello, pile one. So I'll shuffle your cards and see what I've got for the first pile. Alright, so the first couple cards I've got the Eight of Swords, the Lovers, and the High Priestess. So I'm going to shuffle and see if there's some interesting. So we've got the Death reversed, and five. Five from the top I got. Let's also see what cards we've got from the bottom. We've got the World. So first off, I'm getting this person definitely has a fascination with the esoteric, and to create what they want outwards, they very much like to go within. Like they're very one of those people that's they very much have the mindset that going within will create what they want without of the or outside of their reality, which they want to create. They want to create. We've got the Lovers here. They want to create that union, but sometimes they can feel like they're the Eight of Swords. Well, let's see. And I get that this can be for different reasons. One of them is that they can tend to sort of get go inwards, like they have a lot of fear about relationships and what they want to create in their life, and they tend to, so they want this, but they also feel a lot of fear in the Eight of Swords on one hand, but they definitely want this, but they tend to create this. There's a sense of wanting to go within, but then there's also a sense of fear. Like they definitely have a fear of, in some cases, it's being constricted, like whether it's the obvious fear that they have, but they it's something about going within, something to do with their intuition and creating what they want, because this card is in the center, and they can almost get caught in the esoteric principles just a little bit too much, getting caught in their own mind, and it connects to some sort of intuitive principles. But yet they're very hopeful as well. They have a this is kind of in the backdrop that connects with their intuition. They're quite hopeful, and they tend to connect with their intuition as a way. They really like to kind of go off and connect with that as a way of gaining their center, gaining their sort of intuitive. So yeah, I'm getting a very spiritual person. It could be like I get like 65% in the cases it could be a woman, but I also see it as being a man as well too, because men definitely have spiritual intuitive sides as well. Yeah, they may even have their own small YouTube channel, like to do with spirituality. They really like to delve into that, but sometimes they can go a little bit too far, if that makes sense. But it's all the good intentions, because they kind of want to go back to the healing energy, but they want to go, and they definitely they either have a very strong extreme fear of relationships ending, or ones that have ended in the past, or they really really want to um, change and sort of I see them wanting to have a death to their old self right now, in their current self, in regards to how they do everything, not just soulmates and whatnot, but they also want to have a death to all aspects of their life, and they want to create something new, because they see that. I think a lot of people are feeling that in the particular at the beginning of this year. But they want to have the world. They see they're very idealistic. They want to have everything, a healing energy, and they see themselves as having their world. And they almost feel like they've never had the world yet. Like they've had certain aspects of their life that are good, but they don't feel that they have the world. like, and they want this world to be upright, like just have an all-encompassing sense of, because they almost like they feel like they can't connect to the world because they have such these spiritual experiences, and they're not sure that people will understand that, particularly if they're a male, because oftentimes they feel that they won't be understood in society for these kinds of experiences. So they'd like to sort of make sense of them. And let's see, I got 4 from the bottom. I got fear, and this card came out. I was told I should get 4 from the bottom, and I get that this card fear. They really want to like overcome their fears. Like that's what they're really trying to do. And just they feel like when they go inside and overcome their fears, they're going to have the world, they're going to have everything in their life that they want. And I let's see, what kind of a person are they looking for? Well, I would assume they would be looking for somebody who has the same, values. But let's see if I can, pick some cards. What kind of a person are they looking for? And I got the King of Wands. They're kind of looking for somebody who can almost provide stability to their life, like almost, they may not know that they want this, but somebody who can kind of create a stability to their, the king is kind of the most mature together person. So they want somebody who can kind of overlook what they're going through or sort of understand it, but kind of provide a solid, safe purpose, or what do you call it? Stable structure, if that makes sense. I'm not saying they're necessarily unstable, but they're kind of, they like very much, given all these experiences they've had, they kind of, these spiritual experiences, they kind of want to have a strong structure. That's what they're kind of looking for. Now let's see. I got the third card from the top. And engage, I got the card engage higher reason. And what I get from this is they're kind of trying to make sense of their life. They're trying to put together all their experiences. I see a piece of, I see a puzzle come up in my mind, and they kind of want to put the pieces all together and have a sense of structure, because they have the need for sort of structure that's what I get in their life. They need a sense of structure. All right, that's all I have per card for deck or pile 1, and now I'm going to shuffle and do pile 2. See what we get for pile 2. So I'll take these cards and do some shuffling. I got this card is important. I'll shuffle, see what wants to come out. Let's see. Alright, let's see. The first 3 cards I got is the Chariot, the Ace of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. So already I can get a very strong, forward-moving, I almost get like a very strong male energy, maybe a little bit stubborn. That's what I get too. They're kind of a stubborn person, and not necessarily in a bad way, because that can be a good thing as well too. But they've got a lot of passion. The Ace of Wands is a lot of passion, a lot of forward movement, and these kind of cards have kind of the same energy. The Chariot, they're like moving forward. The Chariot is moving forward, often with a lot of passion. Ace of Wands is passion, always. It's the ultimate like passion card, right? It's like pure energy, pure passionate energy. Like people sometimes refer to this card as a thumbs up card. That's interesting because they have this passionate side, but they also have the 4 of Pentacles. And that's what I got, kind of a little stubborn. They need structure. They very much, they like to, I guess money could be important to them. It's very important to them to save and to create a sense of structure, because that gives them a sense of security. Like they have this passionate side, but they also have this forward moving side, but they also have a need for security. I see this is very, very, very prominent. Let's see if I can get some more cards. I'll shuffle. See if I can clarify the cards that I already have. I got the Six of Swords. Like they kind of, there's a sense of like they well, the first word I came with is that in my mind was escapism. They really like to, they're very responsible, almost very responsible with money, and because of that, I almost get Capricorn vibes. Like they're very, or earth vibes. Like it could be a Leo too, with this the Ace of Wands, or Sagittarius. But I always get like a Capricorn vibe of like saving for the future. But they also have this side that they like to escape to. Like I see almost nature, beautiful places, and it sort of balances out their strong. It kind of adds a complete picture to. They've got the passionate side, the saving, the kind of responsible side, and I almost get a sense that they feel like they have to be this way, but um, they kind of almost resent it just a little bit. Like they resent their responsible financial nature in a sense. So they kind of they need to have a more lightness, like getting away from this as well. Like they know it's good to be that way, but they also, let's see what else, what other cards. Okay, I got one at the bottom. And the Tower. And I get, the first thing I got is they really don't like the Tower. They don't like this kind of energy. Like they don't like being shooken up, and they know that they kind of run away from this, and they kind of design their life in such a way that they don't want to have this energy in their life. Like this is something that they want to avoid, and they know that they've got to be a little bit less like this, and a bit more embracing of this. But they sometimes have so they're self-aware. I get a sense of self-awareness, but also, it counterbalances their stubbornness. And let's see, the Nine of Cups. So I get that all this responsibility, like they're hoping, and it will create this. Like they want to create this in their life, and their responsible nature will and can and create this. The Nine of Cups, full stocked kitchen, like having everything that you want, in all areas of life. Financial, they definitely, that keeps on coming up. Financial, it's a way of, they see having strong finances as a way of kind of almost creating security and avoiding this, that they want to avoid this at all cost. But I also see that they want to have a little bit of this bright energy in their life. Like I see that they're seeking out kind of an energy of brightness. Like the Nine of Pentacles that came up. This is a very like slow, steady, saves to the future type energy, responsible. He's very much that kind of character, so that would go with what I've already said. But they want more of this too, though. They want a bit of a lightness in their life. Yeah, more work cards coming up. The Three of Pentacles, like they're quite work oriented, but they also have the self awareness to know that they can't be entirely focused on this. They have to be focused on other. They know that too. Like they have a sense of focal. And then they really want to get rid of this energy, like this worry in their life. Like that's one of their goals, is to sort of they're aware of their mental health issues, of not that they have mental health issues, but they're kind of aware that they worry. I get a sense of awareness, like of what they want to be in their life, and they want this energy to be gone. It's kind of like they tend to get themselves into sort of psychological nightmares, and they or even literal nightmares. Like they may get like have a tendency towards nightmares, especially when they're working things out of their psyche. But I get a responsible, slightly stubborn, but self-aware person. That's the overall energy that I get. So let's see if we can pull some. Okay, what do we have here? I've got speak up. Like, so I get that sometimes they may struggle to speak up, or that may be sort of an overall issue in your relationship, is sometimes just because you know that they're so concerned about, they don't want this, that maybe sometimes there's a bit of fear about speaking up, because you're both may become aware that you don't want to have this energy. But I get a good energy. I get kind of a solid, stable, financially oriented person. So nothing wrong with that. So maybe I'll get one more healing card. And I got instinct. So look at this card right here, instinct. And then it says, follow your natural instincts. You are making the current issues more complicated than it needs to be. Trust in the universe. Allow your intuition to guide you. You are always safe. So I get that to find this person, you both kind of need to rely more on your intuition. Like intuition, you both can sort of kind of get over the logic side and kind of, yeah, to like just don't be afraid to go into your intuition to find this person. Just feel your heart center and know that your heart will know. That's what I get. Your heart will know, and you can trust that. And when you trust that, then you will create this person in your life. All right, so this is the third pile. Let's see what we get for the third pile. Okay. I got that was the overarching energy of what's happening in their life right now. So right now, not as a person, but what they're going through now. They're going through some conflict. But let's see, what kind of a person are they? So I get 5 from the. So I get. Oh, interesting. So I've got the 5 of Wands. It's something that they're going through in their life right now. So I got that very is current energy. There's feeling a bit of conflict. There's somebody who is very focused, like extremely focused. I heard almost to their detriment sometimes, but they may have something that they're very, 1 or 3 things that they are very passionate about, very, very focused at, and they really like to, we've got 2 swords, we've got 3 swords cards, interesting. They really like to focus on something with a strategy. This is the strategy card. So they're very strategic, and they use their mental self. I get that these cards all kind of go together with what they may even be, in some cases, a carpenter, but mostly not. It could even be something like creative that they're really, really focused on, and they like to be perfect and execute it with the utmost. Like the Queen of Swords is very exacting. She's a good editor, she cuts through the BS. So, and then strategies, she cuts through when this person is toiling on their project, their hobby or their project. They're very passionate about, they're very focused, and with a very strong emphasis on strategy and just perfectionism. Absolutely perfectionist. And I kind of get that these cards, they're kind of in separate energies, and I get that they've had a lot of emotional pain in their life from just feeling. I get the sense that they feel separate from people, almost. That's what I get. Even with they're with people, they feel very separate, and there is like a sense of just being alienated, almost. Even when they're not, they just have this sense of, like, they feel quite different. But it's almost like they try and act really, like, oh, I'm like everybody else, I'm like everybody else, but they don't feel like they're like everybody else. It's like they kind of have to, oh, da 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 da, like they almost put a facade on of these kind of are separate but interconnected cards. Like they put on this facade. Not they're a bad person, they're a good person, but they need to sort of fit in, like act like this. They feel like they have to act like this to fit in because they don't feel like sort of safe and connected with people. Let's see, what kind of thing do they want to create, or person do they want to create in their life? I get they want to create sort of a healthy like connections in their life without power struggles, without, like, I got the Five of Swords reversed. Like they feel like they really want to avoid toxic situations. Like they're kind of a very peaceful person inside, like a loving, peaceful person, and they want to avoid these kind of dynamics that aren't, productive, aren't loving. Like they want to avoid such dynamics. And yeah, like I get the Knight of Swords. Like they want to avoid fights or kind of dynamics that are like there's a part of them that enjoys like verbal, like, discussions in the right context, but they don't like it when it turns into like a defeatist, toxic dynamic, if you will. Like they really, like maybe they've had a lot of toxicity in their life, and like I kind of have this sense of them thinking, why, like why me, because I'm so peaceful. But it's almost like I almost see their energy as being a nice blue, like a very loving blue, but then they're like, why do I, it almost seems like their energy, their inner loving blue soul energy attracts these kind of dynamics in their life that they don't, because they're so peace loving, that they don't like these kind of, not that they're a strong person, but they have a strong vibe to them, but they kind of have this inner peaceful core that seems to almost attract stuff that they don't like, and it almost turns into a paranoia for them because they really don't want that kind of dynamic anymore. And yeah, so they're almost like right now they're working they're working through that, like how can I create better in my life? How can I, yeah, like they want the nine of, this is how they kind of, they want their life, like you see, this is a very peaceful card. They really want their life to embody this sort of wealthy, sort of interconnected, peaceful energy on all levels. Like they really want to create that inner peace in their life. Let's see, some cards here. Okay, I got the card Soulmate. So love, partnership. So look at the front of the card and then the back. Love, partnership, magnetic attraction between two people, union. You discover a sense of self through a relationship with another. So yes, I do get that that's on their mind to create this in their life. Like that's the energy that they want to work, like put out there, and they want to have a sort of connection that's safe and peaceful. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Yeah, the card tranquility came out. Like this is like they almost like envision their life in this utopia, but they're like, will that ever happen on this earth? Like that's almost what I hear them think, that they really want to have this. Like they're definitely not from here. They're probably a star person, right? A star seed person. So they want to bring that energy into their life, into earth. So tranquility. So look at that card. It's a very beautiful card. Let's see what it says in the back. Trust. All will turn out well. Everything will fall into place. Peace of mind and tranquility are soon restored. So they kind of, I get that they really like this flowing energy of this card right here. All right, let's see what else. Let's see if I can pull some other cards. Happiness. Yeah, they want to create that kind of interconnected happiness in their life. And again, this is what they're kind of going through, and they just they want to release this and create happiness in their life. So they're kind of, going through it right now, trying to work out sort of. They may not even consciously, they may consciously or unconsciously know what they're doing, but they're just trying to work out the kinks in their life, if you will, and create the kind of peaceful, nurturing experiences. And yeah, I keep on getting the color blue, a deep, sort of beautiful blue within their soul. Yeah, the color blue just kept on coming up for them. All right, that's all for pile 3. Thank you for listening.